question number 1 of test number 2. So the Coast Guard is conducting tests to see whether pigeons can be trained to help find survivors. Well, I think this is perfect. You need to see, because you have an objective. You don't have, I cannot use that because that see would be describing the tests, and it would mean that the tests can see, and that doesn't make sense. So it's either 1, 2, or 3. Be careful when you have whether versus if. We use if for conditions, and we don't have any condition here. Okay. Remember, when you use if pigeons, you have 3 very common structures: if present, present; if present, future; and if present, can or may. You cannot use a helping verb such as can inside the if clause. If pigeons can is wrong, it's not idiomatic. And again, there is no condition, so it's either 1 or 2. So you have whether pigeons can be trained to help find survivors versus whether pigeons can be trained as help, and that's wrong. You must be trained to, okay? That's the idiom. You are trained to help, okay? And by the way, you can use to as well. I can say to help to find, but since you have an infinitive before, it's better to avoid or to omit the second infinitive. It's better to say what A says: trained to help find, period. We eliminate the second one. Number 2. Here we have a common structure, both X and Y. Both is introduction of new models in North America that are less expensive in their manufacture, and the success, and that's not parallel. Both is introduction and success, okay, that is not parallel. Both is introducing, okay, this is wrong, and to success, again, that is not parallel. Both to its introduction and to success, okay, this could be, the last one is both to its introducing, okay, its introducing is wrong, and to success, and that is not parallel. They need to start with the same word. X and Y must begin with the same word, both to and to. So number 4 is the best choice. Number 3, here we have an idiom with so X, that Y. So abundant is an adjective. That, and after that you need a subject plus a verb. That investors scour, okay? A is perfect. In the second one you have so abundant. So is wrong, that's not idiomatic. And then in the third one you have the abundance has been such, okay, that's not idiomatic. And the last two use another idiom, which is such X that Y. Such has the abundance of capital been that investors scour, versus such has the abundance of capital. Okay, the last one is incomplete. It's either A or D, because there is another idiom that is such X that Y. Now, there is something with concision and simplicity here. The abundance, again, is a noun. We prefer the adjective abundant. Also, the first one is shorter, and it places the correct emphasis on abundant. Okay, so abundant that investors scour. A is a better choice, simpler, more concise, more direct, and it places the proper emphasis on the abundance. Number 4. Okay, be careful with modifiers, which versus ing. Which describes the groves, and the tree grows which has cost doesn't make sense. I cannot use which, I need ing. You have the idiom not only causing, okay, but also threatening. Okay, this is parallel in the Previous one you also had not only here, but also. That wasn't parallel. Okay. So I like C. What about the last two? Be careful with which again. Which can never be next to a verb or any verbal form. Which needs to describe a noun, and the noun needs to be before the comma. The last two are wrong. Okay, which doesn't make sense. So not only causing but also threatening is the best choice. Number 5. Okay, so this is a long one. In her second attempt to swim across the English Channel, Gertrude Ederle not only crossed. Okay, so we have the idiom here. Not only crossed the channel against currents that forced her to swim 30 miles instead of the minimal 21, but that is not parallel. You need not only but also. Okay, so you have but also here, but also here, but also here, and but. I cannot use but alone. I need but also. So not only cross but also setting is not parallel. So we have two options, but also set versus but also swam. So she not only crossed the channel, but also set a record for speed, swimming the distance almost 2 hours faster than anyone had yet done, versus but also swam the distance in almost 2 hours faster. In almost 2 hours faster, that's wrong, than anyone had yet done. And then you have and setting a record for speed, and that is not parallel to anything. So B is the best choice. It's also simpler. Number 6. Okay, so you have for the building of 80 cathedrals, 500 large churches, and some tens of thousands of parish churches. That's parallel. We have parallelism here. They were quarried in France for the building. So for the building is okay. That's idiomatic. In order that they doesn't have a referent. Who are they? The same happens here. The same happens in E. So we eliminate those three. And then so that there could be built, this is awkward. So that there could be built, no, it doesn't work. Just use the simpler idiomatic expression. For the building of. Okay, by the way, this is possible. For the building of. And well, that's basically it. A is the best choice. Number 7. Okay, this one is easy. The idiom with credited is with. You credit X with Y, period. So don't forget about credit with. Okay, and usually after with you have an ing word. Number 8. When it might have been expected for it to rise. We saw this idiom before. Expect goes with an infinitive. Expected to. Expected that it should. Nope. No, the only possible choice with expectation, expected. Yeah, we prefer B. When it might have been expected to rise. And what is it referring to? Let's see if the referent is okay. The economy grew while inflation eased when it is inflation, when it might have been expected to rise. Yeah, B is the best choice. And the idiom is you expect with an infinitive too. Number 9. Are native to South America, but were introduced into Florida in the 1930s. In an attempt to. Okay, attempt to. That's an idiom. Attempt to control. Also, we use are native to native to with animals, and native of with people. Native in doesn't work. Natives of, nope. Native to works. Native of doesn't work. And well, we need present because they continue to be native to. They're, if you use the past perfect had been native to, it means that they're not native anymore, and that doesn't make sense. So A is the best choice. Number 10. Be careful with being, and you never worry over, okay? You worry about. In that day, okay, using in that day or because is okay. Those are wrong because you just need to describe the administration. The administration is worried about, okay? Keep C. It's also parallel, worried about the removal and the failure. Okay, so the idiom is to worry about. 11. The idiom so X at Y, so brisk that. Okay, I cannot use as, and I need a that, so it's one of those three. The ability of some children to distinguish discrete sounds and words, and to make. Okay, so you have to distinguish and to make. That's parallel. The ability to. Ability goes with an infinitive. In C you have the ability of some children to distinguish discrete sounds and words, and the result of this, this can never be alone, you need a noun in front of this. C is also very wordy. You have to distinguish and results. That doesn't work. Okay. B is the best choice, to distinguish and to make.